What?
Hey, Scott Ayers here with Product Demo Lab. Hope you're having a good Monday. I'm trying to be as productive as possible. I know it's Monday. Why am I being productive? But yeah, so I know it's a busy week for a lot of folks with July 4th coming up and all those kind of things. And so we're going to do a stream here talking about different things you can use around your pool to clean it and that sort of stuff. I've got an above ground pool, which is in the carousel, and I'll show you that too. But we're just going to walk through some of these different things. It's been maybe an hour tops here. I do want to mention, make sure that you hit that follow button. Make sure you unmute, say hi, click on stuff. Oh, I can't spell stuff. I would certainly appreciate that. We are going to spend pretty much all of our time over here. And this is where we'll look at the different videos of the products, because these are stuff in a pool. So I'm going to show them to you in a pool. That makes the most sense to me, and hopefully it does to you as well. So I did, let me see if I can find this one here. This little floater here for chlorine.
Check little Becky in that I'm going to try out.
It's like
this is
$15.
Chlorine floater. Holds the, the big 3-inch chlorine tablets. Ooh, I do like that this is see-through. I don't know if I've ever had one that's see-through, so that makes it real easy for me to see.
It has.
When these start to dissolve. Let's see. Spins off. Does have a little piece of paper in here. And then this can hold probably up to like 4 of these, because this expands. So you decide, do you want it like that, or do you want it down like that? I'm just going to put 2 in here to get started. And you just drop them down in there like so. And then screw this piece onto it. Usually pretty easy if you just get these lined up. Don't force it on. It'll go on pretty easily. And then from here, you have this part here is that you'll be able to turn. It's a little hard to see because of the sunlight, but maybe you can see it if I kind of play with it a little bit. But you can open and close this to different amounts. There's little pieces of plastic. The plastic will kind of open it up. Like right there, it's not open all the way. That's like almost closed. That's like fully open. So I'm gonna leave it fully open. The other cool thing with this, there is a little spot right here where you could tie a rope to it. And so if you wanted to keep this tethered to one side of your pool so it didn't constantly get
That's what I've
stuck,
done now. I've got it next to
over the side
outlet.
skimmer. You could do that, or
While
get
the
stuck
water
in your
comes through
ladder
the
or
pump.
whatever. You can put a little rope on it and tie it up. So it looks pretty cool already. Let's put it in the pool. And once you put them in the pool, I mean, you can just toss them in there, obviously, but just set it in there. Sometimes we'll just hold on to them and let them fill up with water. And then it fills up pretty quick. And then it's gonna float around and do its thing and help get a little bit of chlorine into your water. This is a necessity if you have an above ground pool, unless you're using some other way to get your chlorine in it. But most of us, this is the way we're going to do it. And then the summer comes, I'll have to fill that thing completely up to make sure I'm really getting in the right kind of treatment. The more sun you have, the more you need. But yeah, I like this little ducky.
So if you've got an above ground pool, these are something that you're probably used to. I've got like 4 of these different ones that I play around with. Right now I've been using the duck one for a while. I like that see-through container on it. And it'll hold like 4 or 5 of I call them like the hockey pucks, the chlorine tablets. I put 3 in there. Every Saturday is usually when I check these and change it out. I do now have mine tethered to the side of the pool over near where the water comes out of my pump. The way, for one, it's easy to grab and I can see it real easy when it's empty. And I like that it's expandable as well. So take a look at that. If you don't have one or you're looking for a better one, I really do like this one. Let's see. I do want to mention the pool that I have. Let's see if I can find the video here. I thought I had it right here. There we go. Intex pool. Here's the one I've got right now.
The 24-foot round Intex above ground pool. This is the 54-inch tall.
It's 52 inches actually.
So it will come with a nice tall ladder to help you get over it. You can see it's taller because it's taller than the whole unit. So it's a little bit ways to go up. Ours is kind of attached to our deck, but we leave it in there all the time. What I do like about this pool a lot is the walls and the floors all look the same with the big kind of blue squares and stuff. So the whole pool can look really blue, at times. I've seen some pools where the bottom's blue, but then the side walls are white, and those white walls just get dirty.
White wall tile.
This one's, very sturdy, very simple to put together. There's no screws or anything. These just kind of pop together when you put them together. It takes a couple of people to usually put it together, but it will come with a really strong sand pump. And I was scared of sand at first, but I've been really happy with it. And it's second year, and still got.
So, this 24-foot round pool, I like the Intex Ultra XTR. I like the look, that dark gray all the way around. You get that blue walls from the top to the bottom, little squares. Also does help you level it out a little bit. Mine's not level whatsoever. But it's in there really well. It was very sturdy feeling. We've had this for a year now. And I didn't cover it last year either. It's worked really well. Pretty simple to do the sand filter once you figure out the pattern. I do backwash once a week. I need to probably take the whole thing apart and maybe put some more sand in it. I think some blew out for a bit last year when I wasn't figuring the thing out. And sometimes it's good just to make sure it's all clean too. I may just change it out. But yeah, so check that out. If you're looking for a pool, I really like my Intex pool. I'm glad we moved from a Coleman. We had a Coleman one first, and then we moved over to this one. All right, let me show you the Aiper Scuba SE pool vac.
Hey, I'm here with the Aiper Scuba SE little pool vacuum designed for above ground pools. I'd say a little bit less than about 860 square feet. Cleans for about 90 minutes, picking up all the debris and stuff off the bottom of your pool. So let's chunk it into my pool. All right, before we chunk it in there, you do charge it here on the bottom. Your button here is to turn it on. You can see we've got 2 little holes here with some sweepers that are going to sweep the bottom of the pool for one, which is not really dirty right now. So I don't expect a lot of stuff to be in here, but it'll sweep it, push things into here. This is very hydrodynamic. It's very close to the ground. Like, look how close those wheels are. They're recessed in there like crazy. So we're just going to push the button. You hear it beep, and then, just chunk it in there. You can hold it down in there, but usually, see, it got into the water enough before the motor kicked on. And then what it's going to do is it's going to start up pretty quick. You'll see the little flaps open up. It'll kind of go the opposite direction of whatever the flap is. And this is going to clean for about 90 minutes in the bottom of your pool, kind of zigzagging around, picking up the leaves and debris and stuff of that nature. So we'll watch it kind of kick in here And there it goes. Like I said, if there were debris in the bottom, it would grab it. This is so low to the ground that a pool like mine with a bunch of wrinkles and stuff, it will kind of get diverted here and there. That's to be expected. You're supposed to be flat. The other thing too is you cannot use this in an in-ground pool that has changes in depth. It will not make it back out of the depth because it's moved by pressure from the motor on top. So if you do have dips, holes, things like that, it might get stuck. So you don't want it to do that. When it does encounter a wall, it'll kind of tap up against it. It feels that it hits something based on kind of the balancer in there, and then it'll take off. Again, gonna clean for about 90 minutes. Mine's a 24-foot round. I would say anything's bigger than that is too big. Mine's almost too big, honestly, based on the amount of time. 90 minutes is the amount of cleaning you've got. So we'll come back, and what it'll do is it'll park against the wall. We'll pull it out. I'll show you how to clean it and what might be inside it. Look how fast it's zipping across there. All right, so the vacuum ended up stopping right about there. We'll grab our hook and just get a hold of it. I missed this then. Get a hold of it and pull it up to the surface of the water. And it's pretty lightweight, and then when you start to pull it out, there's a quick release there on the front. See where that water comes out. I just usually let it hang here for a couple of seconds. Then let's just open it up right here and we'll see what sort of stuff we might have in. Like I said, the pool is not really that dirty, but ooh, I do see some little stuff. So look at that. So there's some kind of bugs all in my pool yesterday, and look at those little bitty things. Caught every single one of these. So I'll need to rinse this out real quick.
So like if you've got an above ground pool, I think this is one of the better units you'll run into, and it's one of the cheaper too. It's $129.99. Great for pools up to like 860 square feet. So it's not meant for giant above ground pools. So there's kind of a limit, but 860 square feet should be most of the pools that are on the market. Shouldn't have any problem with it. Runs for 90 minutes. That's why it is kind of, limited to 850 square feet or so, picking up all the debris, dead bugs, things like that off of the bottom of your pool. 7% off right now at $129.99. Now there is another one that I've used and have been impressed with called the Co-Steering Planet. Above ground pool robotic vacuum cleaner. We're going to put it in our 24-foot round above ground pool. It's already charged. It charges here on the bottom. You can see the brushes and the little inlets where it pulls all your debris and dirt in. And we are going to hold this button down and wait till it gets through a couple of the colors and then let go. It'll turn solid green. That's when you're ready to go. You've got like 25 seconds to get it down into the pool, and then you want to hold this in there, give it a good dunk, wait till the majority of the bubbles are kind of gone, and then if you let it go at this point, it should land straight down and then start taking off. Now this is going to do no particular pattern. It's just going to go, and then what it'll end up doing is when it taps against a wall, or I've got some really bad wrinkles, my ground is settling, and it hits those wrinkles, it will turn itself around the other way. So right here, it's going to tap against the wall, and it's going to go, oh, I got a wall to deal with, and then the light will turn white on it, and then it'll go the opposite direction here. And there's not a lot of debris in the bottom of the pool now. I've got sand in there like crazy, either from my pump possibly messing up, or just storms. We got a lot of wind happening right now, but it'll do its thing for a little over an hour and a half. It's like 100 minutes of cleaning on it, and then it'll park itself against the wall,
and we'll pull it out and I'll show you how to clean it and what's debris we might have inside of it. All right, so the planet has ended over here by the pool side.
The planet has ended.
We are going to pull it out. Let it drain out the water over here at the pool. Just makes your life easier, plus you don't waste that water. And then you'll take this over to wherever it is that you clean out your pool vac. All right, so we access this one by opening up all 4 sides. All right, so that's perfectly clean. There's nothing ever in this you have to worry about. And then we'll open it up and boom, look at that. So we've got little stuff here, some sand pieces and things, but look at the amount of leaves, because it started to storm while this was running and got a bunch of good leaves in there. So then you're just going to simply dump that out and then rinse it.
So here's the thing. This is made for above ground pools. It runs for 100 minutes. So the Aiper model runs for 90. This runs for 100. So you get 10 more minutes out of it. It's going to be made for the above ground pools. Going to pick up leaves and dead bugs and other debris and stuff that might be on the pool floor. There is a 15% off coupon on the product page. So that's, let's see, 12. So about $18 off. So it's right about $100. Like a 101, 102. So nice prices. I've been really impressed with how their products run. I've got a couple of things from Co-Steering, and they all run really nicely. So if you're looking for a good little pull back for your above ground pool, this is one that I would definitely encourage you to take a look at. All right, now let's look at a bigger pool vac. This is gonna be the Aiper Scuba S1. Used in an in-ground pool. You can use it in in-ground or above ground.
This is the Aiper Scuba S1 in-ground pool cordless robotic vacuum cleaner. No more having to use hoses and all that stuff with some of your cleaners. Use the cordless method. So this has these bulldozer style tires on it. That's going to help it climb walls as well as go from the shallow end to the deep end. You've got your big brushes here in the front. They're going to clean the floor and the walls, pushing all the debris into there. Your basket is here. That's where everything will be. You've got 4 different modes on this. You've got a smart mode, which is half the life
maybe you'll
on
get one
the
someday.
wall,
or you can
half
help
the
somebody
life
find
on the floor. 2.5 hours of that, by the way. You have a mode that's 100% floors, 100% walls. You choose between those. And you have the Eco mode. The Eco mode is 45 minutes of cleaning every 48 hours over a 5-day period. So you get a little bit of clean 3 times during the week, maybe if you're gone for the week. We're going to put it in floor mode, all right? Hold that down. Comes on in the auto mode, smart mode. Then here we are on floor mode, and we are just going to toss that bad boy into the pool. It's going to sink its way down into there and kick on, push itself down, and then it will always clean in the direction of the roller brushes. So you'll probably see it come near me. And then it's going to do the wave path navigation.
Clean your yard with it.
And what that is going to do what we would call an S pattern on the pool floor. Just going back and forth, overlapping a little bit, and constantly cleaning that pool. So we'll watch it take off here. All right, so here it goes. And it's going to find this wall over here. And then once it encounters it, it's going to stop and then turn itself around and go the other way. It may climb up your wall a little bit when you have a bowl shape style of pool like this pool. That's normal. It's not abrupt. There it goes. We'll turn around. Those bulldozer style tires make it real easy to do this. Again, it's going to do this for 2.5 hours if you have it in the floor only mode. Picking up anything that it comes in contact with, putting it inside that basket. Like I just saw it pick up some branches or whatever had fallen into the pool overnight. And it's just going to go back and forth. And this isn't a huge in-ground pool. It's the average size, I would say. So you've seen a lot of backyards. I would estimate that this is going to go across the pool at least twice, maybe 3 times. Could be more. I don't even know. I'd have to sit here and stare at it for 2.5 hours. But you'll see real quick that within a few minutes, we'll make a few passes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to time lapse this for you, and you can hopefully see the sun is hitting pretty hard. We'll see if we can see it moving back and forth. So for the next 2.5 hours, it's going to do this. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And every time it encounters something that it can get inside it, it's going to get into. Some of those leaves are huge. They're these big old tree leaves. So I'm going to be really curious to see if it's able to get some of those. But we'll see. And what I'll do is I'll pull it out of the pool here, and we'll test it and see what we got in it and clean it out. All right, so the Scuba S1 is finished cleaning, and the pool looks great. I don't see any leaves in the bottom, and it's parked here on the sidewall. And that's what you do. You'll use your hook now, and you'll reach into the little front there and pull this up. And I would recommend when you do pull it up, you just set it here, let that water come out. It's got a quick release there that'll let the vast majority of it out for you. And then your basket's down inside here, and let me show you what we got. All right, so you can see there's a lot of stuff in there. It's got that big hole in the bottom. Watch when I open this. Look at this. These are these huge leaves from whatever those bushes are over there. It got inside there, and we've got 2 big ones and then a bunch of little stuff. You know, this stuff will dump itself out, but then you need to rinse that. But look at like dog hair and little pieces of dirt and pollen and dead bugs and things like that. So let me go rinse this out. I'll show you the after. And there is the after. Did miss one little piece there. So I mean, that's so simple to pull out and clean it out. And now we'll go put it back into the Scuba S1. It's that easy here with the Scuba S1.
So the Scuba S1 is great for in-ground pools. I have used it in my above-ground pool a ton, and it cleans so thoroughly. Like one of the most thorough cleaning units that you'll find on the market. 29% off today, $499.98. They do have a new version of this for 2025. It added a couple of things. It cleans 30 minutes longer. It's got an ability to connect to their app. And it does have an algae filter in it. So those are nice fun, additions. But if you want to save some money right now, I think this one at $499.98 is the better way to go. It runs so well, works so well. It's literally, I would put this in my pool every day if I wasn't doing live streams with it at times, because it works phenomenally. So really nice stillness. One of my faves. Faves. All right, let's see. Another Aiper pool vac will be the Seagull SE.
This is the Aiper Seagull SE above ground pool robot vacuum. What we're going to do is we're going to drop it in here. I had a storm last night, so we've got some leaves in the bottom. And I can see a lot of dirt too. So turn this one on, hold it down. You hear it beep. And all you got to do now is just put it in the pool. I do like to push it in, hold on to it, and let it sink. This helps it go a little quicker. And then there it goes. So it's going to just start taking off, and it's going to go back and forth across the pool, kind of zigzagging around, picking up the dirt. Look, you can see that dirt. It just went over. It just got. So it'll just go around the pool here for about 90 minutes, and then we'll pull it out later and take a look at it. All right, so the vacuum has finished its cycle. It's over here, it's parked against the wall. We're gonna pull it out with our hook. We'll open it up now. There's a little latch here on the front, and there's one on the back, and then you'll pull the sides, both sides here, just kind of a little bit, and it'll pop it off here. And then you've got your screen here, which is keeping all the debris in there. And let's see what we got. Oh yeah, so we've got a nice amount of debris in there. We've got leaves, we've got sand, all kinds of different dirt, hair. I can literally see a piece of hair right here. So now I just need to rinse this off and put it back together. Now it's all rinsed out. That's what it should look like when it's clean. You'll line all of this.
So the Seagull SE is designed for above ground pool owners. It's got a little bit stronger motor, in my opinion, than the Scuba SE. It's a little heavier duty. Runs for about 90 minutes. Good for pools up to 40 feet in length, grabbing all that debris and bugs and leaves and stuff like that might be there on the bottom of the pool. So do take a look at that one. Let's see. I'm curious. Is this one even available anymore? Oh, it's back to being available. Great. I dig this next one. I want to show you is it's not a robot. This is one you use on a pole, and it's battery powered. This thing is pretty
pullback. It's battery operated. I've got it on an extension pole. I already tried it real quick, and I'm like so impressed by it. I've got a lot of leaves here off season in my pool, so I push the button here and turn it on, and then we just put this down into the pool. And this thing just starts forcing leaves up inside it. Look at this. Like, I have a lot of leaves because I didn't cover the pool here, and it's winter, and I've been getting them out here and there with some small vacs, but nothing near the quantity of this. Oh my gosh. And the cool thing is I've got it on my pole here, so I've got the full length of the pool that I can reach with my pole, and it's just down there doing its thing, picking everything up. Holy cow. Look at all those leaves I got out in just, under a minute and a half filming. This thing is absolutely amazing. That is.
So what I do like about this one, if you do get a situation where like tons of leaves blow into your pool, and you want to get them up quick, this style of vacuum is the best way to do it. It's just basically using force with that big fan blade in there and pushing all those leaves up into that bag, and then you just dump the bag out, put it back in there, and do it again. This one is battery operated. You put a couple of AA batteries in it. There is a rechargeable version, but it's like 3 times as much. So, I mean, just buy the one that's battery operated. I probably should take the batteries out when I'm not using it so they don't like pop on me or anything. But really easy to use this one for in-ground or above-ground pools. Just attach it to your pole, and you can quickly like spot clean and get all the leaves off the pool floor. Super fast. So yeah, one of my all-time favorites. I don't pull it out very often, to be honest with you, because I don't always have a bunch of leaves in the bottom of the pool. But it's one of those things, like when I do, I'm like, yeah, buddy, so glad I have that one. All right, let me show you the next pool vac. And it'll be this one here.
Pivot pool vacuum. We're ready.
This one's
to
gone
put
down
this one in the pool.
a lot in
You're just
price
going to push
lately.
this button once, okay? That little blue light starts to flash, and then you're going to
40%
hold
off.
this into the water, okay? So you can see all those bubbles. So now that motor's starting to suck water in. All All right, so see, it's climbing the wall there. Now, this does not clean the water line. This is going to clean the wall itself. So this is going to run around the pool. We'll go up the walls, clean those walls for about 100 minutes. And then it will self-park itself when it's finished. So the pivot is over here close to a wall. We'll use our little hook. You can kind of try to get it in that way. It's usually easier to just grab it here on the back. You will need two hands probably, but I'll show you how to pull it. When you pull it up, once it starts to go, it comes up real simple because it really doesn't weigh much because it's floating. But if I can catch it here, when I pull it out, that water drains out really fast right there. So just kind of hang it over the side of the pool. That'll get all that water out. Now let's open it up. All right, so remember, you tip this over onto its top. It's got little rubber pads, so it's not going to mess it up. Pop this, do that. This will pop open. And then your bag here is what you're going to be looking at, okay? So you'll pull this. And again, this is one of those things that usually needs two hands. All right, so look at that. You can get it in the sunlight there. You can see I've actually got a lot more nastiness than I thought I would get. I thought the pool was kind of clean. Got a leaf in there. You can see there's a lot of sand and stuff in there. But because this thing pretty much catches everything that goes through it, it's a great way when you do have a lot of little particles like that. Look at that. That's all in there. Did a fantastic job. Look at that. All right, so let me get my sprayer out. You want to spray rinse all this. So when it's cleaned out, it's supposed to be nice and green, right? This is supposed to be clean. So when you put it back together, make sure that flap's on the inside there. Make sure you also put it on the right way. Again, you probably are gonna need two hands with this. All right, so it's all back on. Make sure it's kind of all the way down there so it's good to go. This part, you really shouldn't have to clean this part because that should be where clean water runs through, but you might just double check it. Make sure nothing got stuck in there. And then when you're putting it on, if you just kind of let that kind of hang down, make sure it gets down in there. And then it'll kind of just get around, check it, make sure there's nothing sticking out. That's all popped down. Then you just got to turn these back. And make sure there's nothing down in there either. But yeah, so that's the pivot here from Gosford. Does a great job on in-ground pools or above ground pools. Does climb the walls and cleans the walls.
All right, so this is an interesting vac in the way that it moves around and the fact that it's got that bag in it. It does go up the walls and does some cleaning on the wall, so you can use this in underground or above ground. The wall cleaning is not precise, like it doesn't go in a pattern or anything. This kind of goes up when it decides to. But that bag on it, I've been real impressed with how well the bag is, because that suction power is so good. Like it grabs so much stuff out of it. Every time I've used it, it's like, ugh, all that was in the pool. It gets so dirty. So definitely one worth looking at. You can usually see it in gray or white. Right now, this is only showing white. I mean gray. 40% off right now at $299.99 for that one. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, the Surfer S2. I love the Surfer S2, and this video is like one of my favorite videos of any product. Surfer S2, top of the pool water skimmer. You can use this in an in-ground pool, which is probably the most common for this size, or an above-ground pool. I'm going to put it into a very dirty 24-foot above-ground pool. The wind is blowing like crazy, and there is just tons of stuff all in my pool. This is solar charged, so I can either use the solar aspect of it in the auto mode. It'll automatically just keep charging itself, or I can plug it in if I want to. So here's what we're going to turn this one on. And we turn it on here. See that come on. It will immediately come on when you're in auto mode, and the little things back here, the little motors, will start to move around and go, hey, am I in the water yet or anything?
And then your basket that cleans, look at that. It is moving around up there, and that's going to push that debris into the basket. So let's just set this into our pool. And it's going to sense the water, and it has little sensors in it as well that will let it know when it's going to run into stuff. And this is going to go around and look. There's so much stuff. I don't know if you can see this or not. Like if we zoom in over here, look at all that. And so this is going to start going around getting that stuff, because I don't want that to sink to the bottom of the pool floor. Even though I do have robots to clean them, I don't want that to turn into algae. So look at this thing go. And with it being solar charged, I don't have to worry about this thing. I can just let it run and run and run. And then when it does get down below a certain battery life, it'll turn itself off and wait for it to charge back up. But look at it. Let's watch it scoop up. So look at this. It's just getting all of that. Look at the leaf. Bye-bye. This is perfect. Look at this. Steered itself from hitting the sidewall here, so it kind of turned itself a little bit. And the wind may actually move it around a bit too, but it's got so much propulsion going on. Look how stuff is just going into it while it sits still. Look at that. It's not even moving right now, and there's still things just flying into it. You can connect this to the Aiper app, and then you'll be able to control it and do a lot of other things with it. But man, this thing could just sit right here, and it's just going to grab all this stuff. Look at this. This
I like how
is
it's just
insane.
wrapping everything. It's got this little bar in there, and it's like it creates this flow that just kind of pulls stuff in.
All right, so the Surfer S2 has been out here running in my pool now for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And if you remember when we started, it was completely covered, right? Just a little bit left, and it's almost gotten every bit of it. Look at this. And I'm going to bet that that is full. So I'm going to let it come over here to me, and then we'll pull it out of the pool. You could use your remote control with the Aiper app and bring it over to yourself if you wanted to, but let me grab it out of here. All right, so before I take it out, I am going to go ahead and turn it off, just so it's not running while it's up here. And let's pull it out and let some of this water drain. Now, all I have to do to open this and get the debris out is to pull this. So just pull that out. And I can already tell there's tons in here. So let's look. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Like finger length deep, full of this junk. That is insane. You even got the big leaves and stuff. So I'll need to clean that out. But you also want to check.
So here's the thing. This is a top of the pool water skimmer. It has obstacle avoidance on it, so it won't run into stuff. And it's got the solar panel on it, where as long as this gets a couple hours of sun every day, this thing can run, 24/7. Like literally would never go off, which is such a cool way to keep your pool nice and clean. Ideal for all pool types, whether it's in ground, above ground, no matter what shapes, it'll figure out the shapes. Keeps all that stuff from going into your pump. I love this thing. It's such an easy thing to use, a no-brainer. If you own a pool, especially if you own an in-ground pool, I think this is even more of a no-brainer to keep all that stuff from getting clogged up in your pump. 15% off for this one right now at $339.98. Let's see. Do we have the Klybot? Let me look. I may not have this next one. I didn't organize this video section here very well. I don't guess I have the Klybot pulled up. We have one that's similar to it. Like, is the Pondy? Let's see if I have the Pondy. What's funny is the Pondy and the Klybot basically look the same, but I don't think I put it in here either. I need to add some of these new ones. Because co-steering has gone to this one. So I know I have this one in here. So like the three, the co-steering, the Nebula, and the Pondy and the Klybot are very, very similar.
We're here with the
Oh,
Goss.
that's a different one. Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
This is the co-steering Nebula. This will be the first time I've used it here in my 24-foot round above ground pool. It is fully charged already. You charge it in this little port spot there. Make sure you do have that on good when you're ready to go. Your access to your trash bin, whatever, is back here. Make sure that's closed. Now turn this one on. We've got 4 modes. We've got this mode here is called Smart Mode. This will spend half the battery life on the floors, half on the walls. This is going to be floor only, 100% of the battery life. This will be walls only, 100% of the battery life. And then there's a mode that'll end up here on the dots that is called Classic Mode, and it'll clean floors and walls at the same time. And what I'm going to do is I want to look at floors. We're going to do floors on this video here. So you'll hold this down for like 1 second so it goes through all those colors, and then you'll see that red dots here. I want it here, so if I push it again, now I'm on floor mode. And so really, I mean, with the weight of that, just toss that in the pool. You've got about 25 seconds for that to fill up, and it should fill up in time for the motor to get going. Let's see what happens here. Here it goes. See, it's starting to take on water. Boom, we're down in there now. And then it'll sink. You could have sunk it in there.
Glub, glub, glub,
Look at the
glub,
Caterpillar style tires on this thing. We're really curious to see how how this thing can get over my wrinkles and stuff in my pool. And it's got that front wheel there where the brush is at. That's going to do a ton of cleaning on it. So there, I can see the motor's kicked in. Oh, that thing took off fast. And I can see the streak. See that cleaning streak? Look at that. Because we've had a dust storm in the last few days here in Texas, and it's kind of made things pretty dirty. So it's not going to climb the wall right now because I don't have it in that mode. I have it in floor, but it did kind of encounter the wall, and then we'll see what it does now. All right, it's going to turn around. Kind of does a bit of an S pattern. It's kind of the goal, there on the bottom of the floors. But this thing's going to go around, and it's going to pick up, any leaves and debris that's on the bottom. It is also going to stir up all this dirt and stuff that happens to be on. You can see the paths that it's creating with some of this dirt that's settled in my pool right now. But it looks good. Like, look at it go. I love that the light's flashing on it too, so I can kind of see what it's doing, and you can also be able to tell the battery life from that. All right, so we'll let this run around, and then when it gets done, it should park up against the sidewall, and we will pull it out. So the vacuum has parked close to a wall, and we'll use our hook here. Looks like if we can just grab it like so, we'll be able to pull that up to the top of the water. In this instance, normally you are going to need both hands to grab. And then you're grabbing it from this angle, and that's going to have that quick release up there in the front. So to pick that up, you're going to need both hands, to be honest with you. Let that drain out. And then let's check the basket, see what's got in there. So to get to the basket, just pull that up. And then you have this in here, this handle extends. And you can see there's, look at that little bitty nasty looking stuff in there. You open this, from this angle, and we can see in there, look at all those leaves. So the way it's kind of designed is you could shake that portion out, a lot, and then we'll need to rinse the rest of this out with our hose. And that's what it should look like clean. So you'll close that back up. That part just kind of sits down in there. It'll end up pushing that part around down there. So when you get it in there, just kind of drop it down and then kind of just make sure it's down. Pop that down, and now we are ready.
So what's really impressive with this model is it runs for 3 hours. It can climb the walls, climb the floors. It's got like 4 different modes in it my dog approves. And you know, it's a beast of a unit. Like I love how well it goes up and down. I've used it in in-ground pools. I've used it in above ground pools. And it always just does a fantastic job of grabbing all that debris. It doesn't grab algae, not what these are made for. Grabs the leaves and dead bugs and stirs up the dirt and stuff. And then that stuff can go into your filter. So check that one out. Another great one is going to be the Aiper Seagull Pro. Aiper Seagull Pro. Look at those rollers. Look at these wheels. Quad motor system, first of its kind on the market. What that means for you is this can go up and down all of your different inclines regardless of the size of your pool or depth of your pool. It will clean the floors, clean the walls, grabbing leaves and dead bugs and any of the debris that might be on the bottom of the floor with its twin motors. Why is twin motors important? That gets it complete contact with the floor at all times, pulls all of that water through. In this size pool, it's going to touch every drop of water during its 2.5 hours of cleaning. That also helps it stay up against the sides of the walls if we were doing wall mode. This video I'm going to do floor only mode, but I do want you to see here, hopefully you can see that we've got 3 modes. First one is auto, not showing
half
up
the
on
time,
the product.
2.5 hours on the floor, second half of that 2.5 hours on the wall. Then you have 2 modes that are only. You have an only floor mode, only wall mode, just does those the entire time. Your dirt basket's back here. Let's turn this dial and put it here. All
right, so we're gonna pause this one because some reason it's not popping up and showing to me for some reason. Not real sure why. Let's see. I've got another one I wanted to show you, a skimmer, but I have not pulled that video up. This one's from beta, but we are going to move forward. Let's see. Let's do the Scuba X one. Find the video here. This is the Aiper Scuba X1. This is your solution to keeping your in-ground pool nice and sparkling clean. A couple of things about this one. It's got these, what they call a Caterpillar tank style tires. This allows it to go up and down all the different depth changes. It gets over like the drain in the bottom of your pool floor, not a problem, and climbs the walls. Speaking of climbing walls and cleaning, it's got dual brushes. It's got 2 in the front, and then you'll see there's 2 in the back. So what that allows it to do is have constant contact with the pool floor, cleaning all the time. This thing is pulling through like 6,600 gallons per hour or something like that, and it is grabbing all of that debris, all of the algae too, because, check this out, this has a dual filter in it, big basket. And then down inside this filter, down in here, it has this removable algae filter that catches sand and dirt and algae. And you can take it out. If you've had a really bad storm, take that out. Let the main basket pick up all the debris. Charge it, which you can wirelessly charge this one on a cradle. And then put the basket in there, the algae basket, and then go to town with it, okay? That's what I would personally recommend. Mode-wise on this one, you've got 4 modes on the unit, and then you've got one hidden mode within the app. This will connect to your Wi-Fi, and when you connect it to that, you can actually go in and add a scheduled mode, which will have 3 cleaning sessions over a 5-day period. It skips every other day, cleaning the floors. So the mode-wise here, we've got this mode here, which is the auto mode. This will spend the first half of the 3-hour battery life cleaning the walls, and second half cleaning the floors. This mode is 100% 3 hours floors. This mode's 100% 3 hours cleaning walls. This mode's 100% 3 hours doing what's called wave line cleaning. What that means
is it's going horizontally about 2 inches out of the water is its goal, and cleaning the water line horizontally across and getting rid of all that muck and slime and stuff that might be at the top of the pool water. Really cool thing to do, and we'll watch that here in a second. The other cool thing here is when I do turn this on, it automatically will select the last mode that I chose. So like right now, if I select floors and then I turn this off, watch when I turn it back on. We're back in floors. Most models you'll see out there, what they'll do is you just have to cycle through every time, which is a little bit of a pain. Say hello to Odie. He likes the pool. He may jump in during this video. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the wave line, and I'll show you how it goes. Now, the one thing with this pool that we had 7 inches of rain here recently, so the pool is completely full. So it's barely going to stick out of the water, but you will see kind of what it's attempting to do. So let's do this. Let's turn this on, and then we're going to go all the way over here to the wave line mode. And then this one's heavy. Just set it in the pool. You could like throw it in there if you wanted to. What'll happen here is this is going to sink down into the bottom of the pool, and it will clean at depth. It's not an issue with this one. Doesn't matter how deep your pool is. Cordless cleaning, no wires. Look at that. That's like a 20-foot long tube you have to use with Hayward, and it gets all tangled up and popped loose. That sometimes will just come loose. This is not going to do it. So let's let this sink down, and then we'll watch it go and start cleaning the wave line. Now, a couple things to take in mind is there are sensors all over the front of this, and what its sensors will do is it will, for one, figure out what kind of pool shape you have and start cleaning, you know, based on that. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to notice obstacles like these steps, you know, over here, like these little ladder things. And so when it's cleaning, it's going to go, oh, sorry, I don't want to run into that, and it'll stop. So when it's doing the wave line, it's supposed to come out of the water about 2 inches. Again, I don't know that it's going to be able to do that because of this ledge and the water. And it's going to encounter these steps, and it can't clean those. It'll go down. So let's see what it does here. The dog is very concerned. Odie, go. All right, see, it's figured out which way it needs to go, and it's just going to go around and round and round and clean all of the water line. Now, it'll do it for 60 seconds, and then once the 60 seconds over, it's like it's taking a big, deep breath of air. It's going to go back down into the water and then come back up. And while it's doing this, it still is pulling water through it. It's what's helping keep it up against the side as part of that circulation. You kind of can see the water going. But this is a great way to get all that slime and muck and mold and algae off of your water line. Check this out. And then see, you can see there, it goes back down to the bottom of the pool floor, and then it'll come back up. We'll watch that. Again, it's made to come out 2 inches. I don't have 2 inches without water really, and so it figures that out and then just starts going horizontally here as best as it can. Scrubbing that. Look how it's getting in there. All right, we're coming up to some spout. We'll see what it does. All right, so it realized it encountered something down there. So now it's just going to go back down. It's going to go around. So that's what the Scuba X1 looks like while it cleans that water line horizontally. And you can see we've already gotten around a pretty good amount. If you let this run for the full 3 hours, it's in this pool size here, it's going to go around multiple times. Well, I'm going to put this one here this time. We're going to put it into the auto mode, half on the walls, half on the floors. Let's take it, toss it in, it'll do its thing. All right, so it's gonna come up. Now this pool is extremely full because of the rain, but what it's gonna do, comes out here for a few seconds, works on that water line, cleaning the walls as it comes up, and then works in the water line here just for a few seconds. So notice how it's turning itself. This is what they call the WavePath 3.0, and it kind of makes a like a capital N is what it ends up kind of looking like if you were to like time lapse that or something. Cleaning that wall the whole time as it comes up, front and back. And then there's little sensors over here on the side that'll kind of know when it's out of the water. Also, the sensors on the side down here are looking to see if it's going to run into stuff, as well as that sensor there. You can see right there, it's like, oh, that's a wall. And this pool's got that sort of rounded edge all the way around it, so it does go up a slope a little bit. But it goes up, I've changed, I'm not flat anymore, and then it'll stop and turn itself around, because it only cleans that one direction every time. But what it's doing here in the beginning, like I said, is figuring out what is my pool shape. So you may see it kind of go straight across, go at an angle, decide to go sideways around the pool. That happens as well, and that's fine. It's all about being as efficient as possible and getting as much of that pool cleaned as you possibly can. This does have that algae filter option inside the basket right now. You can take that out. If you've got tons and tons of leaves in your pool, it would be highly recommended to clean it first with just the main basket that's in there, and then charge it and then run it again with the algae filter, because it's just easier to clean it. Trust me from experience. But right now I've got both things because I don't see a lot of leaves in here, but we do have a lot of dog hair because there's a dog that gets in here a lot and swims, and so it'd be great for this to catch a lot of that stuff.
All right, so we'll pull it out of here in the pool here in just a second, then we'll end this live stream.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just time lapse it. It's going to look like it's moving really fast, and we'll watch it make a couple of paths here across the pool.
All right,
Just
so let's
going
pull it
back.
out.
And that's all you got to pull out is this, okay? And so in here, we had the algae filter in there. Oh, we have got a ton. I think this must be like a dog's toy or something. Even suck that up. I did not even know that. And then inside here, check this out. Let's look close. There is lots of little debris.
All right, so this is like the upper echelon, the Cadillac, the Tesla, the Porsche, whatever you think is a high-end car. This is like one of the best models you'll find. For your in-ground pool, it's got the 4 motors on it. It's dual jet, horizontal water line cleaning. It's got the algae filter on it. It cleans for 3 hours. This will make your pool so clean. Clean like from debris, but also clean from all that little dirt and every algae and other stuff that might be in your pool. So definitely worth taking a look at that. So that's going to do it for this live stream here, all about pool cleaning supplies. Hope you have a good rest of your day. See ya.